Good morning, you guys. If you're new, my name's Cassandra, and today we are tackling just a really normal day on the homestead here. I am bringing you guys along for my baby's nap time, and we are just going to go and get some things done. We're starting off in the house. I had 2 baskets of laundry that I really wanted to fold and get ready to be put away. All of these clothes needed to be put down or put away, mostly put away in the room that she was sleeping in. So I just wanted to get them sorted, folded, and put back in the baskets, and then I'll deal with it later this afternoon when she wakes up. And then I really needed to go ahead and put lunch away, kind of do a really quick kitchen reset, and then get out in the garden. Everything's coming in. It feels like everything got done all at once. So I just needed to go out there and pick and get some things taken care of, figure out what I had, and kind of like mentally prepare for the week. This is a Sunday. I needed to figure out what days do I have that I can set aside this week for preserving, what projects are more urgent than others. Some things are okay if they sit for a couple of days. They're not going to go bad, like zucchini. I have some cucumbers, things like that. They can sit for a while, but if I have a ton of tomatoes, like that's not something that can wait. So I just wanted to see what was out there, what needed to be taken care of, and really start mentally preparing myself for the week ahead and figuring out what was what here. This was a really great day because it actually felt more like a fall day. Everything was really cool. It was overcast. There was a really nice breeze. So garden work didn't feel like a chore in the heat of the summer sun as it often can. Things are starting to slow down. Things are starting to cool off a little bit, so I was really excited to just finish off this little bit of laundry, get some things put away, and get down to the garden and just kind of putz and figure some things out, get a little bit of me time, I guess you could say, get a little bit rejuvenated. So let's finish off these couple of household chores we need to take care of and get down to the garden. My mother-in-law called me over and told me she had garden produce for me. So how my in-laws will can is they do every 2 years. So they always can enough for 2 years, and then on their year off from canning, they only will grow what they want to eat fresh, and everything else they will hand out to whoever wants it, as long as you promise to use it. That's their big thing. So I got some tomatoes here that they have enough for eating fresh. They're not going to go through these, so they gave them to me. I've got some beans and peas in here, not a ton, but just a handful. But my mother-in-law did say whatever else comes off the beans I can have as long as I go down and pick them. So that's what I did. I got this big bag of cucumbers, which is amazing because mine never came. Mine just didn't do well this year. And then I got a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes too. We already made a pasta salad out of these. Whatever we don't eat in the next couple days, I will throw in the freezer, and then I will throw the rest of these in with my pasta sauce when I can pizza sauce and pasta sauce. So lots of plans happening, but we're definitely going to be canning pickles in the next couple of days here with all of these, which is amazing. I'm in the craziness that is my garden. I just completely let it go this year. I'm actually kind of embarrassed to talk about it, but just it wasn't the priority that I really wanted it to be this year. So that being said, I'm out here. I'm going to pick some beans and just harvest whatever's down here. I tried to come down here a little bit ago when I had Cleo, but she wasn't cooperating, which is okay. Laid her down for a nap, have the baby monitor with me, and I'm just going to try to rock this out really quick and finish getting everything that I need to get out of here. I was able to get some tomatoes and look through some things with her this morning, so now I'm just going to finish up and bring it inside and start cleaning all of the beans. I want to have them for dinner tonight, and whatever else I can find in here. So let's go and see what we can find. Peas are kind of the exact same deal. I really didn't think we were going to get anything off of these because the deer kept coming in and eating them down, but we are definitely getting peas now, pods. Really, they're actually really good too, so I don't know, I guess I just needed to be a little bit more patient this year. We've ran into more challenges than we ever have previously. So that being said, I've learned a lot more this year, that's for sure. But kind of is what it is. We're still getting things off of it. It's just not going to be quite what it was last year, putting things away in the freezer, at least with beans and peas, but hopefully we'll get other things to make up for it. We will just kind of have to see. One of the last things I have to do is check my zucchini here because I know I have more zucchini to pull. And then I think I might pull the whole plants because I have so much zucchini right now. I do not need any more, so I might go ahead and do that quick. Oh, jeez Louise. One down, 3 to go. Oh my gosh, okay, rest in peace zucchini plants. This whole row is just full of plants. What I do is I just leave them in place. They're gonna compost the soil, they're gonna add to the soil and just put it back into the soil that they've been taking out to produce anything all season long. So I just leave them there. At the end of the season, they'll get tilled in with absolutely everything else. So that task is done. I'm gonna check a couple more of my pepper plants that I have up there, and then I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna head inside and sit down and put my feet up just a little bit before the baby wakes up, and I have to start figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do for dinner because I have so many garden veggies right now. So it's basically what sounds good that's gonna pair well with all of the garden veggies. We really want to do some green beans tonight, so I don't know, we will see what happens. I don't have any meat set out for dinner tonight. I'm kind of thinking about doing a sausage Alfredo that the kids really like and pairing that with some green beans and maybe even some of this garden broccoli. We can throw that in there and just make a really big one-pot pasta dish. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but let's go check those peppers and then call it for the. But this is what I was able to get this morning with Cleo, a couple tomatoes, cut off some broccoli. So we got a little bit of something. I'm grabbing my tomatoes off the vine when they start to turn anything at all, and I finished ripening them in the house because I have gophers galore in here right now. Ants are also really bad this year down here. I've never experienced this before, but as soon as the tomatoes start to ripen, the ants will just attack it and the tomato just starts like foaming and oozing, and it's really bad. They're climbing up the plant, so it doesn't even matter if I tie the plants up and if I prune them really well. The ants are just relentless to the point where you walk in the garden and you're getting attacked by ants. So I don't really know how to solve that problem, but it's so late in the season that I don't really know if I care to try to fix that problem. I'm just going to take what I can get and hopefully do some research over the winter and make a difference for next. It looks like some of the chickens are coming to join me. I don't know if you guys can see them, but they're all around. We have a lynx that was hunting our chickens and it kept ripping into the chicken run through the fence. So now we keep finding all these little holes that the lynx had ripped through the fence to get in to go after our chickens. So I feel like every time we think we find or we fix the last hole, the chickens get out and we find another hole. So it's just like this ongoing battle. But I don't know, it just kind of is what it is. I don't really care that much about the chickens being out because there's not a whole lot for them to get after anyways that I really care a whole lot about. I really thought all of my squash were going to be a bust this year because it is almost, it's like what, mid-August, and I don't even have fruits on most of them. But I came out here this morning and I'm finally starting to see little fruits coming on some of my pumpkin plants and some of my other squash, which was really exciting. So I might get something. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully the weather holds and we don't get like an early frost and my plants will hold out a little bit longer and we'll get something off of them. But here are some of my squash plants. These ones are pumpkins, I'm pretty sure, but you can see I actually have some coming in here. And last year I had full-on pumpkins by now, but that seems to be the theme of this year, is that everything's growing a little bit slower. So that was kind of exciting to see. At least something's happening, something promising. I also took a lot better care of my garden last year than I did this year, so that also probably has something to do with it, just like maybe. Here's our big pile of zucchini plants. Those things just get crazy. They spread out and they get so big, so those are done now. Maybe the chickens getting in the garden will be a good thing because they can eat some of the ants and some of the bugs that are destroying some of my plants right now. The very last thing I want to do is check some of these pepper plants up here. I do have some starting on here, which is great. If I can get one really good harvest off of these, I can definitely make those peppers last for a full year. I'm the only one in my household that appreciates a good bell pepper, so I don't need a ton to get me through the year. I like them on pizzas and in my eggs and omelets and things. So I need right around a gallon would sit really well in our freezer for the year between fajitas and different things like that. So hoping to get a gallon this year. I think last year I had 3 gallons go in the freezer, so we will see what happens. But I'm seeing I do have some bigger peppers, so we shall see what happens here. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, I actually have way more peppers on here than I thought. These will be ready in about a week or so. So I think I will be getting a decent pepper harvest. Perfect. It's just a little bit later. This is why we pulled with those zucchini plants. This whole box and this whole bag is full of nothing but zucchini. Plus now we have that 5-gallon bucket full of zucchini. I don't need any more. Plus we already shredded and have 2 gallons in the freezer. So lots of zucchini happening. I don't need any more. We pulled the plants. This is what I used to thicken my tomato sauce, but haven't had to make tomato sauce yet. So that's why it's kind of piling up. I'm just kind of waiting, and these will last for a while as long as the stems didn't snap off like this one. I'll have to shred this one here in a day or two, get it in the freezer or use it in something, but other than that, the rest of these will hold for a while. So these are something that can sit, where like tomatoes, I either need to get them in the freezer or process them, so I'm not really worried about these.
Slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.